Poetry, a world of words. Poetry. It's like word magic where feelings and thoughts dance together on a page. Don't let anyone tell you it's stuffy or boring. Poetry is for everyone. It's about expressing yourself your way. Whether you're happy, sad, angry, or just feeling silly, there's a poem inside you waiting to burst out. Think of poetry like a giant playground. You've got swings of rhyme and slides of rhythm. There's the merry-go-round of metaphors, spinning you around with words. And don't forget the sandbox of similes, where you can build castles of comparison. Poetry is about playing with language and seeing what amazing things you can create. We use words every day, but poetry makes them special. It's like taking ordinary words and dipping them in glitter. Suddenly they sparkle and shine. Poetry helps us see the world in new and surprising ways. It's about slowing down, paying attention, and finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. Poetry is also about connection. When we read a poem that resonates with us, it's like the poet reached into our hearts and said, "Me too." It reminds us that we're not alone in our experiences. Whether you're reading words written centuries ago or a poem scribbled on a napkin, poetry has the power to connect us across time and space. From the simplicity of haikus to the humour of limericks, poetry comes in many forms, each with its own unique charm. Sonnets, with their structured elegance, and free verse, with its boundless freedom, show the versatility of poetry. Villanelles, with their repeating lines and spoken word with its powerful delivery, demonstrate the endless possibilities of poetic expression. No matter the form, poetry invites us to explore, reflect, and connect. It's a celebration of words and the human experience. Haikus capture the essence of a moment in just 3 lines, while sonnets weave intricate patterns of thought and emotion. Free verse breaks the rules, allowing poets to express themselves without constraints, making each poem a unique journey. Rhyme and rhythm, the heart of poetry. Let's start with the basics, rhyme and rhythm. Rhyme is like a satisfying click, 2 words coming together with a satisfying sound. Think Cat and Hat or Brighton Night. Rhyme adds a musicality to poetry, making it fun to read and listen to. But don't feel constrained by rhyme. Free verse poetry is like a jazz solo, flowing freely without the need for strict rules. Both rhyming and free verse have their own unique beauty. It's all about finding the style that speaks to you. Rhythm is all about the beat, the way words flow together. Think of a rap song or a nursery rhyme. The rhythm is what makes it catchy and memorable. In poetry, rhythm can be created through stressed and unstressed syllables, line breaks, and even punctuation. Listen to how the words sound when you read them aloud. Do they flow smoothly? Do they create a sense of urgency or calm? Experiment with different rhythms to see what effects you can create. Don't be afraid to play around and have fun. Poetry is a playground for words. It's a space where you can let your imagination run wild and express your deepest thoughts and feelings. Whether you prefer the structure of rhyme or the freedom of free verse, there's no right or wrong way to write poetry. The most important thing is to find your own voice and let it shine through your words. So grab a pen, find your rhythm, and start creating your own poetic masterpiece. The heart of poetry is waiting for you to unlock it. Haiku, tiny poems, big impact. Now let's talk about some specific forms of poetry. First up is the haiku, a short and sweet poem that originated in Japan. Don't let its small size fool you. Haikus are packed with emotion and imagery. They're like little snapshots of a moment in time. A haiku follows a strict structure, 3 lines with a syllable count of 5, 7, and 5. That's it, 17 syllables to capture a feeling, an observation, or a fleeting thought. Here's an example. The first winter snow falls softly on the bare trees. Silence fills the air. See how much emotion is packed into those 3 short lines? Haiku are all about capturing the essence of a moment with as few words as possible. They're like little puzzles, challenging you to say a lot with a little. Remember to include captions for images to make your poetry accessible to everyone, including people with visual impairments. Poetry is for everyone, regardless of ability. Section 4. Sonnets. Love, laughter, and everything in between. Now, let's jump from the shortest form of poetry to one of the longest, the sonnet. Sonnets are 14-line poems that typically follow a specific rhyme scheme. They often explore themes of love, beauty, and the passage of time. Don't let the formal structure intimidate you. Sonnets can be playful, serious, or anything in between. They're like little worlds unto themselves with their own rules and rhythms. Here's a snippet of a Shakespearean sonnet, perhaps the most famous type of sonnet. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. See how the rhyme scheme, ABAB, CD, CD, EFF, GG, creates a sense of balance and harmony. That's part of what makes sonnets so satisfying to read. They're like intricate tapestries woven together with words. Remember, poetry is all about expression, so don't be afraid to experiment. Try writing a sonnet about your pet goldfish, your favorite snack food, or anything that sparks your imagination. There are no limits to what you can write about. Section 5. Unleash your inner poet. So there you have it, a glimpse into the wonderful world of poetry. We've explored different forms, from rhyming couplets to haikus to sonnets. We've talked about the power of imagery, rhythm and rhyme. Now it's your turn. Pick up a pen, open your laptop or grab your phone. Let the words flow out of you. Don't worry about making it perfect or sounding like anyone else. Just write what you feel. Write what you see. Write what you imagine. Remember, poetry is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned wordsmith or a complete beginner. Your voice deserves to be heard. So embrace the joy of language. Experiment, play, and have fun. For more poetry resources, check out your local library, bookstore, or online poetry communities. Happy writing!